Good afternoon. We're back at it again at the Autoblog household. It's another beautiful, sunny, muggy day in Pittsburgh, PA. And a special thanks to the sponsor of today's video, which is SimpliSafe, but more on them a little later. So in today's video, we will once again talk about money, and this time it's in regards to the Ferrari. If you've been following along on the channel here, you know I've made videos like that on the F-150, the modification build, how much that cost, how much it generated in ad revenue and so on. I also did it on the first hoopty that we have. That was very interesting. So today, I feel like it's time to do it on the Ferrari because this is the most expensive vehicle I've ever owned. It costs $250,000. So how much money has that made me on YouTube and also on Facebook? So we're gonna look at both platforms and see which one does best. Is it YouTube or is it Facebook? So I've had the car for about 14 months and my payment every month is $3,500. So you guys can do that math real quick. But now usually when I make these type of videos, you guys seem to enjoy them, and I like doing them because I like being somewhat transparent, because I feel so grateful to be able to do what I do for a living. I never planned on becoming a YouTuber, but being a YouTuber is the best job in the world. I mean, I'm so grateful. It's not without its challenges and struggles, but at the end of the day, I'm so blessed. So if you guys enjoy these type of videos, give it a thumbs up. I mean, hit that thumbs up button right now. I think we should be able to get this video to at least 10,000 likes. So hit the like button right now. But before we get into the nitty gritty of everything, we're gonna jump inside the car because I actually haven't driven it in a while, and there is nothing like driving this car. Yeah, it's time for some repetitive content. Oh, we got red light. Red light, no. No. Well, maybe we can get a little pull-in at least. A bunch of traffic. Woohoo! Well, we got a little underpass at least. It never, ever gets old. Ever. Okay, so we're back home. Always fun driving the F12, especially in tunnels. But we're gonna get down to the topic of today's video and the reason why you guys are here. So let's jump up in the office and then we'll take a look at the numbers on the Ferrari, my 2015 F12. But on the way up to the office, we're gonna give a special thanks to the sponsor of today's video, SimpliSafe. SimpliSafe is an easy-to-use, customizable home security system that is free from contracts and any hidden costs. It's an incredibly effective, reliable home security system that will make sure your home is safe. Just order it online or over the phone. It's delivered right to your home, and you set it up yourself in under an hour. You just stick the sensors exactly where you need them. From there, your home is professionally monitored 24/7 if anything happens. They'll make sure the police gets called. They've got sensors to cover every window, room, and door, plus lots of great extras like water sensors, temperature sensors, and HD cameras. It's all really easy to use, and you get around-the-clock protection for just 50 cents a day with no contracts. They've even won the US News and World Report's Best Overall Home Security of 2020. So personally, I've had people come to my house. A lot of people drive by, and some people have even come up to my door and knocked and want to take a selfie and that kind of thing. Now, thank God, most of them are very nice. They just want to say hello, which is fine, but you never know. Now, for instance, if my wife and Sydney are at the house by themselves, it makes me feel safer that we have a proper security system in case they were to be someone that is not as nice. Now, the setup process of everything with the alarm pad, and all the door sensors, motion sensors around the house, the base station, and so on, is extremely simple. You guys know if I can do it, anyone can. This is on there with an adhesive Same with the sensors all over the house. There's no getting the toolbox out or anything like that. You just plug the base station into the wall. We have a motion sensor camera right here in the living room. So if anyone that is not invited were to come in the front door, ha! Busted. In the kitchen, we install the smoke alarm. Now, on the back porch here, glassed-in back porch, by the way, this sensor is trained to hear broken glass. So anyone tries to break the glass, you're busted. And upstairs by all the bedrooms, we install the carbon monoxide sensor. Now, in the master bedroom, by the side of the bed where my wife sleeps, we have a panic button. You push this in for 2 seconds. Yeah, I'm not going to show you the code. And by this window right here in the garage, we have a motion sensor right there by the Ferrari. So last year we got a new water heater in the basement. So I don't think anything's going to happen to this, but the old one did indeed start leaking. And underneath the new one here, we have a water leak sensor right there. Now the only thing we haven't installed yet is the SimpliCam video doorbell, and that's because I didn't have an existing doorbell, but that's all about to change. So guys, check it out for yourselves. Head on over to simplisafe.com/autovlog. That's simplisafe.com/autovlog. All right, so we're finally in the office here, and let's get down to the nitty gritty, the numbers, how much I paid for the Ferrari, although I'm sure you guys figured that out already, in payments that is. And now, we're going to figure out how much I've actually made in ad revenue from the videos that I've made of the Ferrari. Am I actually making money by owning this car as a YouTuber, or am I losing money? We're about to find out. So we're at the home page of my channel here, and we're just going to jump into the analytics. And we'll start with YouTube here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the videos that are actually about the Ferrari. I mean, the Ferrari has been in so many videos, but maybe those videos weren't specifically about the Ferrari, so I won't really count those, but we're going to pick the ones that are, you know, specifically about the Ferrari, and we'll see how much ad revenue is generated from Facebook and YouTube. Okay, so here we are, my home screen, and what we're going to do is we're going to go down to this video right here, because this was the first video I ever filmed of my Ferrari F12. It's actually right before I bought it. It wasn't mine at the time, but we're going to take a look at this video because it did very well on YouTube and it did even better on Facebook. So here we are. This is the video analytics right here. And it shows pretty much everything you need to know. It's gotten 784,649 views since I uploaded it. $1,401.19, which is nothing to complain about, but for a video with almost 800,000 views, it's actually not that good. Next, we're going to go to the Facebook analytics here. So this is the video that actually was the first one on Facebook that took off, and it helped me get monetized on Facebook as a platform, and it did really well. So Facebook, they count 3-second views as one view. I don't really know exactly how YouTube does it, but I would assume it's somewhere around there. A 3-second view counts as one view. It's very weird. It's not showing that it has any 1-minute views, although the average watch time is 1 minute and 23 seconds. Now what you're going to be seeing here when I show you the Facebook analytics is that Facebook watch time compared to YouTube is horrible. And I think I know why it's bad, because if you've ever watched a video on Facebook and that video is monetized, you'll notice that in like 20 or 30 seconds you get an ad right away on Facebook, which in my opinion is way too early, because it leads people to be like, ugh, I don't want to watch the rest of the video, because the ads come too quickly. They don't do that on YouTube. They wait like 3, 4, 5 minutes or whatever it is. But I'm re-uploading old videos on Facebook that's already been live on YouTube, so I'm not really complaining. I'm just saying, like, they could change it up a little bit, at least for videos they know are longer than, like, you know, 3 minutes. It generated $5,673. That's a lot more than it did on YouTube, and I'm very grateful for that. So what I'm going to be doing here at the, I guess, bottom left of the screen, I'll be adding it up as we go. So the next video in the Ferrari series is when I'm actually taking delivery of the car. This was one of the best days of my life. I'm taking delivery of my dream supercar, my first supercar ever, and it is an F12. Video did pretty good. It's got 528,143 views, and as you guys can see, 528,000 views made more than almost 800,000 views did. So we made $1,875.47 on YouTube. Now, what did it do on Facebook? For the same video, it got 677,000 views, 415,000 10-second views. It made $935.72 for more views. So in this comparison between these two videos, YouTube was definitely better. Alright, so the next video is the video where I'm actually driving the car home for the first time. Awesome, fun video, and fun fact is many times when you buy cars like this, they don't really let you test drive them first. So this was like literally the first time I'm really experiencing the car that I just bought. It got 262,000 views and it generated $1,036. Now that's YouTube. So what did it do on Facebook? Now the thing is, I'd forgotten to upload this video on Facebook right after I did it on YouTube. So I uploaded it, what's the date? It says here 5 months ago, so very late. So my Facebook following already knew about this video. So it doesn't really have all that many views. It's 47,000, generated $42, which is obviously a lot less than it did on YouTube. So the next video is when Sydney saw the Ferrari for the first time. We kind of tricked her a little bit and said it was a Hyundai on the phone before she had seen the car. But it was a fun video anyhow. It got 224,000 views and it generated $899. So on Facebook, this video was also uploaded a lot later than it was on YouTube. So it doesn't have the same amount of views. Now in the next video, I took my buddy Brian for a ride in the Ferrari. It was absolutely hilarious, in my opinion at least. It didn't do as well. It got 95,000 views and it generated $300. Now for that same video on Facebook, I chose to title it differently and I uploaded it a lot later than I did on YouTube. In the same video, I pick up Sydney from school in the Ferrari and stuff, and she's kind of embarrassed, and it was cute and funny. So I chose to title it that way on Facebook. It got 47,000 views, and it generated $43 on Facebook. Now the next video in the Ferrari series is titled, Will I be able to afford the maintenance cost on my Ferrari F12? It got 163,000 views on YouTube and it generated $540. So as you guys can see, some videos make more, some videos make less. They can make less and more even if they have the same views. It's very, very different. And on Facebook, it got 131,000 views and it generated $170. And we'll just keep it moving, and the next video I made on the Ferrari was a pretty popular one, and that was when I kind of broke down the financial story behind how I was able to get the Ferrari, what my monthly payment is, how much I put down, and so on. It did fairly well, 310,000 views, and it made $1,727 in ad revenue. And on Facebook, that video did fairly well as well. It got 200,000 views, and it generated $574. And right after that, we had another video. It was called I Messed Up. I've been driving my Ferrari illegally the whole time. Basically, they sent me the wrong plate. And we found out that there was something weird with that plate. It was registered to another car, to another human being that had a Jeep. It was super weird. Anyway, it got 254,000 views, and it generated $1,065 in ad revenue. Now that same video on Facebook did really well. It got 1 million views and it generated over $2,000. I mean, there's no reasoning behind why certain videos do better on Facebook versus, YouTube and, at different times and stuff like that. I don't understand it, but I'm not complaining. And then I took my Ferrari to its first track day. The video got 134,000 views, almost 135, and it generated $593 on YouTube. On Facebook, however, it got 96,000 views, which you guys can see here, and it generated $127 only. And then we get to a pretty crappy video. That's when my Ferrari broke for the first, actually broke. The video has almost 300,000 views, and it ended up generating $1,107. And the interesting thing is that I can't find that video uploaded on Facebook. So I must have forgotten to upload that video, which is kind of stupid. Yeah. So I'm going to upload it now so you guys can head on over to my Facebook page if you want to and watch that video. So the next video we did on the Ferrari is actually kind of including the F-150 as well. We were in Florida at the time and I did an update video on my broken cars. Got 106,000 views and $504 is what it generated in income. And unfortunately, I never uploaded that video on Facebook either. So yeah, I guess I'm missing out on income here, but we just got to keep it moving here. So the next video that I uploaded on YouTube though is when I went to pick it up because I thought it was finished. They had called me and said, you know, come pick your car up in Columbus, this is. But then when I got to the dealership, that wasn't the case. They found another little issue or whatever. And that video got 163,000 views. And it generated $671 in ad revenue. And that same video got 133,000 views on Facebook. And it generated $195. So in the next video I actually got to go pick the car up. It was done. That video got 189,000 views and it generated on YouTube $1,027. And on Facebook it did pretty well, actually better when it comes to the view count. It got 541,000 views and it also did better in ad revenue. So this video generated $1,131 on Facebook. And the next video after that was a fun one. My friends at Blackout Tinting PA, they had rented airstrip. Although it was kind of a short airstrip, but it was still a lot of fun. So it was the first time I really got to just floor it in the F12. It didn't really get all that many views. I thought it would get more. It was one of the most fun videos I've done in the Ferrari, but it got 87,000 views and it generated $311 in ad revenue. It did even worse on Facebook and only got 55,000 views there and generated $40. And then it was finally time for the first Ferrari modification. This was a pretty hated video. A lot of people didn't like this modification, but I think it started to grow on them. Anyhow, it was when we put the spoiler on the F12. It got 127,000 views on YouTube and it generated $738 in ad revenue. It did pretty good on Facebook, generating 325,000 views and $620 in ad revenue. And then the next video on YouTube, I guess you can kind of count the Ferrari as part of this because this was my life story video of, you know, coming from Sweden to America because I met my wife and so on, and you know the Ferrari is a big part of that because that's part of the success part of the story. And it did better than I thought it was going to do view wise because it's a long video. It's like 35 minutes long. It's got 218,000 views and it generated on YouTube $725 in ad revenue. On Facebook it didn't do that good at all. So it got 36,000 views and only generated $55 in ad revenue. Then the next video, it's me and my buddy Brian. Pittsburgh views were added, so we did a valve delete, so to speak. It got 137,000 views. It generated $631 in ad revenue. Now on Facebook, it did about the same amount of views. It got 134,000 views and generated $344 in ad revenue. The next video on the Ferrari lineup was when I lowered the car, and as I anticipated, since it still had the stock wheels, it looked absolutely horrible. That video got 120,000 views and it generated $661 in ad revenue. So I accidentally raised up my Ferrari on Facebook, got 96,000 views and it generated $164. And we're keeping the ball rolling here with the Ferrari videos. The next one was one of my favorite mods on the car, and that's when we put the new wheels on. And it just transformed the way that the car looked. And that video got 145,000 views, generated $713. And that same video on Facebook did a whole lot better. So at least view count wise, it got 478,000. Not that much more ad revenue, but that's because Facebook in general don't have as good CPMs. But $876 for a re-upload of the same video is pretty freaking good. Now, right after that, we took the car to Monterey, and during the time in Monterey, I was actually pulled over. Did some slight speeding, nothing crazy. Video got 138,000 views on YouTube. It generated $787 in ad revenue. And that same video on Facebook did better, 448,000 views on Facebook and generating $932. Oh, and I almost forgot, right before that, while we were still in LA, I let my wife drive the Ferrari for the first time, and it was an awesome, fun video. Generated $437. Now, when we go to Facebook, did really well, 1.4 million views, and it generated $1,795. Oof, re-upload. I like it. Alright, so we're home from California. I did this video here. They said this would happen if I did this to my Ferrari, and it did twice in one day. Anyhow, it got almost 125,000 views. People obviously didn't like this video because I got people unsubscribing. And it generated $421 in ad revenue on YouTube. But for some reason, that video on Facebook did really well and generated 1.7 million views and $2,585 in ad revenue. So Facebook killed this one. Thank you, Facebook. So the next video in the Ferrari lineup was a fun one. It didn't do very well, but it was a fun one. It was a Cars and Coffee meet, one F12 against 5 Aventadors. It only got 46,000 views on YouTube and $226 in ad revenue. So we'll see how it did here on Facebook. I think it did a little better. Yes, it did. 134,000 views and $200 in estimated earnings, ad revenue. The next one was a pretty crappy video. I talked about how I found that there were some paint issues with my car. That's been fixed since then. But anyhow, it got 150,000 views on YouTube and generated $1,000, which is pretty good for 150,000 views. So happy with that. It did even better, at least view count wise, on Facebook. People like it when my cars break. Not quite as much ad revenue, $605 on Facebook for that same video. And then I actually did a video here where I talked about how I started getting monetized on Facebook, kind of like we're talking about today. I don't think I showed earnings and that kind of thing. But so the video got 122,000 views on YouTube, and it generated $756 in ad revenue. That same video on Facebook did not do very well, so 44,000 views and only $67 in ad revenue. And then we did another type of finance video where I talked about insurance costs. It was actually for all my cars, but mainly focused on the Ferrari because it's such an expensive car, and what I pay per month in insurance for that car. That video generated 62,368 views and earned a lot more than the Ferrari cost per month to insure. That's $472 on YouTube. We'll see what this did on Facebook. 132,000 views and $222 in ad revenue. The next time I did a video on the Ferrari, it was an update video called Where's the Ferrari? Why have I not been uploading? It only got 65,000 views, generated $300 in ad revenue. Pretty sure it didn't do that much better on Facebook. Nope, 36,000 views and $53 in ad revenue. We want to see videos where your cars break, Mike, not updates on where they've been. And then we get into some fun stuff here. Real fun. So this is a video I made where the exhaust for the Ferrari had arrived. I was unboxing it and just showing it what it looks like. It's such a beautiful sight because you never really see the exhaust. You only see exhaust tips. So 67,000 views, generated $412, which is okay in my book for 67,000 views. That same video on Facebook did better. It got 131,000 views and generated not as much in ad revenue, so it's not better really, but $186 in ad revenue on Facebook. And after that one, we had the video where we installed the exhaust. That got 111,000 views and generated $662 in ad revenue. And on Facebook, I know for a fact, because I remember this, that video did a whole lot better. It got 708,000 views and generated $1,151 in ad revenue. And then we get to my reaction video of driving the car for the first time with the exhaust. This was in the dead of winter too. It was like 35 degrees. We had snow. It was just horrible weather conditions. And I was going to drive the car with a tune as well. The video's got 183,000 views. I would have thought it would get a little more than that, but generated $620 in ad revenue. If you guys haven't seen this video, definitely check it out. Whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, I don't care, but this video is awesome. And it got tons of views here on Facebook. See, same video. It's got 1.7 million views on Facebook, generating $1,205. And after that, I took Sydney out in the car and we drove around, had some fun. She got to hear the car straight piped and everything. She also got to rev the car. This is a hilarious video. I love it. It only has 72,000 views though, but $402 in ad revenue. And on Facebook, it got 70,000 views, generating only $65 in ad revenue. So the next Ferrari video after that, I did a full review of the car for the first time. I'd had it for 8 months. Currently on YouTube, it has 98,000 views. It's generated $536 in ad revenue. On Facebook, not as good. It got 48.8 thousand views and only $84 in ad revenue. Here's the next video. That's when I go and check up on my car to see how everything is going. It's got 75,000 views. It generated $401 on YouTube. That same video on Facebook got 121,000 views and generated $127 in ad revenue. And then after a long while, I finally get the car back. It's done. It's been to the dealership after the paint issue was taken care of. It's been serviced and everything. Video got 72,000 views, generated $529 in ad revenue on YouTube. On Facebook, it got a bit more views, but less ad revenue, $198, so almost $200. And after that, we took it to the Pittsburgh International Auto Show. Video didn't really do all that well. I think the video is awesome, but again, YouTube, they didn't like it for whatever reason. 43,000 views, $277 in ad revenue on YouTube. Facebook didn't really like it either. 60,000 views there, $62 in ad revenue, even worse. And then I did an update video on the California pullover. It got 79,000 views on YouTube. I don't know, people didn't like it, so they unsubscribed. But I generated $566 in ad revenue. Now on Facebook, it got 76,000 views and generated $104. Now the next Ferrari video after that one was when I took it back to blackout tinting. They peeled the old expel off and reapplied it, and it looks just so much better. That video got 64,000 views and generated $541 in ad revenue on YouTube. That same video got about the same amount of views on Facebook, but only generated $86 in ad revenue. So the next video I made that was mainly featuring the Ferrari is right after COVID had happened. It has currently 94,000 views. It generated $348 in ad revenue, which is a lot less than I usually get for, 90-some thousand views. So on Facebook, it got about 125,000 views, horrible watch time, and ad rates were affected on Facebook even more than YouTube. So $28 for 125,000 views. And then during that same time, we did a video where we were just basically doing a quarantine cruise, just hanging out. It got 58,000 views on YouTube, generating $267. That same video on Facebook got more views, 207,000, but $31 in estimated earnings. The next Ferrari video I did on YouTube is actually a car washing video, but I was washing the Ferrari. So it got 56,000 views, not that many views really. It gained some subscribers though. People seem to have enjoyed it. It was just that it wasn't really shared much on YouTube. God knows why. But the ones who saw it you know, I did gain a lot of subscribers from there. So $250 in ad revenue off that video on YouTube. The same video on Facebook got a bit more views, 91,000, generating $33 in ad revenue. So that brings us to the latest video I've done on the Ferrari, and that's when I went to my good friends at Marshall Goldman and I went to look at this LaFerrari and many other cars in their inventory. It has 97,000 views currently. I gained 114 subscribers from that video, and it generated $633 in ad revenue on YouTube. Now that same video got a lot more views on Facebook, 352,000 views, generating $291 in ad revenue. This is the one video I've seen on Facebook lately that actually jumped up in some kind of ad rates and ad revenue for the amount of views. So $291 less ad revenue than YouTube, but more views. So there it is, guys. I've gone through the main videos that I've made on the Ferrari that's pretty much based on the Ferrari. And I kind of lost track while I was adding everything up, but I know that the ad revenue is over $50,000, and what I've made in payments so far in the 14 months that I've had the car is $49,000. So is this car making me rich? No. Is it paying for itself? Yes. But I'm going to mention this real quick, and this is as a reference. So I did this video pretty recently. It's like a month and a half ago or something like that, where we went to Columbus on a rally. Now the video is about this Ferrari F40, but I wouldn't have been invited to this rally if it wasn't for me having an F12. That video did pretty good, 390,000 views, generating $1,100 in ad revenue. And I have tons of videos like this that is in regards to the Ferrari. Like, I wouldn't have been able to make these videos if it wasn't for the Ferrari. But they're not really about my car. So I didn't really count those. Like, initially when my car broke last year and Will Motivation lent me his Hellcat, I did some extremely successful videos, if you combine them with YouTube and Facebook, about the Hellcat that I would never have been able to make if it wasn't for the Ferrari. So if you guys understand what I'm trying to say here, there's more revenue involved in me buying this Ferrari, but the uploads that I've been showing you guys in today's video are about the Ferrari specifically. So now you guys can kind of see how I've been able to pay for this car and why I can do what I do. Now keep in mind that I've had my YouTube channel since 2014 and I've made over 500 videos. Those videos keep generating income all the time. Everything is residual income the more time passes, so to speak. And then you make new videos about whatever, and you know, so everything is a big melting pot, so to speak. But at least you guys now know from specific Ferrari videos what that car has generated in income. So again, it's not making me rich in any way, but it's making me very blessed. I got a lot of memories from being able to drive that car, and I haven't really had to pay anything out of pocket. What I've paid so far, which is a lot of money, almost 50 grand in car payments in a little over a year, but that has paid for itself in ad revenue. So I hope you guys appreciate this video, because like I've said many times before, when I make them, it's just to be somewhat transparent and kind of show what I make and, you know, how it makes a living for me. And if you're an aspiring YouTuber, maybe that can be some kind of inspiration for you. And keep in mind, I'm a pretty small YouTuber. There's tons of other channels that are much bigger than me, just in the automotive space. And then there's other YouTubers in, you know, whatever vlogger space doing whatever they do and the content they do that, I mean, it's like 400 times bigger than I am. So just, you can just imagine the type of income that people earn off of the content that they do. But for me, at the level that I'm at, I feel extremely blessed to be able to do what I do. So I want to thank you guys for always watching the videos. It means a lot to me. And remember, give this video a huge thumbs up. Just smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, and I'll make more of these type of videos in the future. And again, huge thanks to the sponsor of today's upload, which is SimpliSafe. Make sure you guys check them out. SimpliSafe.com/autoblog. It'll be in the description below. I'm going to dinner with the wifey now. I'm sure this video ended up being a lot longer than I wanted it to be. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did and you're stopping by for the first time, please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.